Hello, everybody. Welcome to Live Sessions. Um, I have Mix Hawk here today, and we're just going to talk about music and hear some music and go about our day. I hope everybody's having a good Sunday. Summer is over where I'm at. We're already in the rainy season. So, is anybody? Are you like in an area where like summer kind of has dwindled down now?
Well, I'm right now. I'm in Oklahoma, where I lived in the last like 11 years, but I'm in the process of moving to Nashville. So I just came from Nashville a couple days ago, and I'm going to stay here for about a maybe a few more days, and then I go back to Nashville. So yeah, it's pretty much. And right now, when we're talking, it's a heavy rain behind my window. So yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
much autumn thing because it's not a common thing for Oklahoma to be raining.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's generally more more like a mid-season, like a it's not like really cold or really hot in this time of year, right?
Yeah, you may say so, but I know that in some areas in this country, it's getting cold even in September, like in Minnesota and places like this.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, wow. Yeah, it's definitely colder here. We don't get very high anyways, so like I'm in Washington and so unless you're like in kind of the middle of the state, you don't really see those high temperatures.
Well, from what I've heard, you have like raining there all the time, no?
Um, that's kind of a myth. It more is it rains more often than not, for sure. But uh yeah, I mean the rain kind of comes between like I don't know, September to October, November, and then again as it like changes season into winter and then we get some snow for maybe 2 months and then it goes back to being like really cold but kind of rainy and then in late May, June, it starts to the sun can come out, but it's also Washington is also known for having just bipolar weather. It can be 100 one day and like 40 the next, so like you never know, really, honestly. This winter or this summer, we only had like 2 weeks of like temperature summer, and maybe three, and then it was gone. So it didn't last very long.
You know, where I grew up, it was raining all the time, and we had a joke like, "Oh, that was a good summer this year." Yeah, and it's good if it came on a weekend.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that is awesome. Um, well, welcome to the show. I'm so happy you're here. You do you want to give a little bit of your background and like how you got into music?
Well, yeah, I'm a third generation in my family of entertainers. So my grandfather was a big guy in the circus,
Wow.
and my father is an actor. My uncle worked in a movie industry. My mother was a singer and an actress. So I was studying music since before I would talk. You know, I
Yeah.
I grew up on stage, behind stage in theaters, and traveled with the theater since I was a kid. So I was like in it. So it was just a matter of time. I was trying to get out of that circle,
Yeah.
just to
Yeah. Yeah.
break a circle, but I finally couldn't. I was studying biology and doing all kind of smart as stuff, but finally I ended up in music as like, and even on the way, I was quitting music a few times in my life, but it ended up going back over and over again because like it's somebody said that we didn't choose music, music choose us. So it's actually how it's going. It's like a destiny, something that you just can't live without. You think you can, but then it comes to the point when, okay, I'm doing something else, but anyway, I'm trying to perform all the
Yeah.
time. So, and
Yeah.
especially when I moved to the United States, that was a challenge because I was already in my like 50s when I moved, and I had to start everything from the scratch because I just Nobody knew me here. I'm from Europe. I was doing music there. I had a career there, but here I was like I had to start from ground zero,
Right.
and I'm still actually in that process because I'm kind of. It's interesting experience when you got a almost 40 years of experience behind your back, but at the same time you're like everybody look at you like you're a rookie because you just showed up and
Yeah.
you're just like and I'm on the same level with all these 20-year-old guys around me. That's kind of
Yeah.
funny,
Yeah. Yeah.
interesting experience.
I bet. Is it hard to kind of integrate yourself with that and like the age difference? Like does it feel kind of hard to do that?
Not really. I wouldn't say so. I wouldn't say that it's really hard with because of any age difference because we speak the same language, which is music.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's rather like it's harder on people that you have to work on executives. That
Mm,
what I would say because they can't. It's hard for them to put together like. I understand that especially in the area that I'm playing country music, and that's what I've been doing all my life. I got hooked on country music when I was early teen, and I never turned back from it in my life. So it's not very common for this country, people coming from overseas and doing not some the national folk or anything like more mainstream like some rock or some
yeah.
pop music, but doing something 100% American. Uh, I just can see sometimes that people just don't know what to do with me. They look at me
Yeah.
like,
Right.
"What in the world, man? How did you
Yeah.
got there?"
Yeah. I mean, I can imagine it would be kind of was it kind of a culture shock coming here so late in your, late in age and being able to, kind of kind of, yeah, like we were saying, like start over? Was it, or did you kind of have an idea of like what you were getting into?
Well, yes and no, because on one hand, mm, I was Americanized all my life through the music. I was studying history, culture, all that things. So I pretty much I could say I understood America way better than a lot of immigrants who's coming here and
Mm,
don't know a freaking thing about it. And they have
yeah.
to start from a scratch, even understanding what do people mean when they say hello on the street, or how do you
Yeah.
because when you say how are you, like in most of the cultures that's a real question that you have to answer,
Yeah.
so people try to answer like if you ask me how are you, well, let me tell you how I am.
Yeah.
I will
Yeah.
just tell you everything that's going on. Here is
Yeah.
just a form of say hello. So for a lot of people it's just like, what do you mean, why did he ask me?
Yeah. Yeah.
what
Yeah.
what does he want to know? But on the other hand, there were a lot of like things more. So it was not a cultural. It's more like in a common life things concerning banking, concerning some stores when you come in and you don't know the name of. You come into the drugstore, you don't understand the name because all the drugs are different. If you need something to kill your headache,
Mm-hmm.
but the names are all different. You don't even understand what to buy because it's like what
Wow.
what is that?
Yeah.
And the same in the store, you go and you say, well, of course we have some all that Coca-Cola and all that brands are the same, but mostly concerning the food that you eat every day, it's like you don't know all these brands, you don't know what's behind this label, you don't know what's in that bottle or in that box, and it's kind of these details that you never study when you study America from overseas. You don't
Yeah.
really study the Walmart app to see what
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
selling
Yeah.
there and to understand what is it. So you
That's
mostly
crazy.
go trying to get more global things, and finally, when you face this little bitty things, you're like, oh my goodness, what's going on here?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of the I would imagine the stressful part about it is getting used to like the everyday things, and trying to integrate that into your own life. now, or well, I guess 11 years ago, but trying to understand all that kind of quickly because you're in a new environment.
Yeah, we never used checks, like signing a check, and I thought it was like in the past, in
Oh,
like in Jack London books or in Mark Twain books. But
yeah.
here I come and it's like, oh, you can sign a check, and I'm like, really? So I'm just take a piece of paper, I'm right there, $1,000, and I give it to you, and you believe that it's really worth
Yeah.
it. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
because in the world that I lived, if we would have this system, everybody would cheat everybody. So everybody would sign you the empty checks. So nobody would
Right. Oh
trust
my
it
god.
anyway. So for me, that was really, and you will trust me if I will sign it to you. And
Yeah.
really, was,
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
funny. Yeah,
Yeah.
but
What about like the
things.
music scenes? Tulsa has a pretty good music scene, I would say. Um, I've been there to listen to a few of them, but how about the music scene and kind of integrating yourself into that?
You see, it happened that uh, we lived in Pawnee, Oklahoma, which is in Pawnee Nation Reservation for like 6 years first. Then we moved to Tulsa,
Mhm.
and we moved to Tulsa exactly when the COVID started.
Oh wow. Yeah.
So with all that COVID deal, everything, most of the places were shut down, and
Yeah. Yeah.
some of them never recovered. Some of them kind of trying to rebuild something. Uh, so it was that historical period, not the best to actually move here.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're pretty good. There's a lot of pretty good musicians, but the reason we finally moved to Nashville is because it's not really much that's going on here, unfortunately. Not as
Yeah.
much as I wish it would be. And again, you see that from my perspective, the specific of a Tulsa music circle is that it mostly local people. It's mostly people who grew up with each other. They know each other like since school.
Mm,
They were
yeah.
going to school together. Some of them
Yeah.
were going to kindergarten together. They
Yeah.
know each other for life, and they already have this like circle that they already comfortable with. And
Right.
when you're outsider, I'm not saying that people are mean, but it's just no, natural thing. You rather going along with your own than accept
Yeah.
people who's coming from the side. Uh, Nashville, from that point, is way better because
Yeah.
everybody came from somewhere there.
Yeah. 100%.
Like
Yeah.
we had a Bible study gathering special for musician, which we have every Wednesday there, Wednesday morning, right in the Sony Music building, in the middle of Music Row in Nashville.
Yeah.
And the guy once asked, and it was like, I don't know, maybe 40, 50 guys there. And the man asked, like, how many of you here native who's born in Nashville? It's only two people raise hands. And
Wow.
one of them don't live in Nashville now. He lives in California. He just came visiting. So
Wow.
all this crowd, everybody came from somewhere else.
Yeah.
So that's why it's way easier. And some people come in different age, in different period, but they all like they all have this feeling like they're not like locals, so they have to be more
Acceptable.
open and more
Yeah.
acceptable, and they kind of have to integrate with others and stuff. So
Yeah.
it's actually easier to get together with people and collaborate and write songs together and do stuff like this, music wise. And there's a bunch of musicians that just looking for a job. They're looking for with whom else they can play and make some extra money. So it's way easier to find musicians just even for one time
Yeah.
show. Just you just calling people, and there are a bunch of like, hey, I'm ready, I can. It's not
Yeah.
like here everybody kind of do their stuff, and they're not really that
Yeah.
collaborative.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Nashville is just petri dish of everybody, and it's this like little city. Well, it's a big city, but the area of where the music mostly is and where it's played, that there's only so many bars and so many like places everybody can go, and since everybody comes from everywhere else to be there, it gets kind of oversaturated. Is that something where that you're like you have to worry about for you, or because you're a little more seasoned than some of these other people that have been there or have moved there? Does that make it a little easier?
You mean Nashville?
Yes.
Uh, that's the point. It's so many. I mean, even with all the bunch of musicians that's coming there, there's still a lot of spots, a lot of places because everything that's going on in that city is music. And I know
Hmm.
it's not a correct saying because there's a lot of companies that media companies and uh, car dealer companies moved their offices there in the last like 20 years. So there's a bunch of stuff that's going on in Nashville. It's not like just a music city anymore, unfortunately, but still, mostly people who's coming there, all the tourists and all those guys, they just coming there because of music, because they want to check out what's going on with the music. They want to see some artists. They want to go and they just want this experience like they can walk down the street and kind of run into Miranda Lambert or, you know, anybody who can like Alan Jackson or somebody.
Yeah.
There is an Alan Jackson bar on Broadway in Nashville, and I was there recently, like maybe like a week ago, and there was a guy who was really looked like Alan Jackson. He was dressed like Alan Jackson was dressing like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So, and people were like, and musicians invited him on stage, and he sang. And of course, when he sang, you can see that it's not Alan Jackson.
Right.
But the thing is that all the tourists that were coming in, they were like, "Oh, maybe it's him." Well, maybe not, but maybe. Well, let's make a picture just in case, you know. So that was
That's
kind of funny
awesome.
because this is what people come in there for.
Right.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
every,
Yeah.
I saw there in Nashville. I mean, I was just knocked out because there was a Taco Bell, just a regular Taco Bell with a stage and microphone in it.
What?
So in Taco Bell, they play music. It's Taco Bell near Broadway. It's like maybe I don't know 300 feet from Broadway on one of these parallel streets. Taco Bell, just
Wow.
that thing. And I came in and I said, "I really Taco Bell, or it's just a joke?" They said, "No, really. They have all this menu of Taco Bell. You can order that food and stuff." But they have a stage with equipment, with microphones and stuff, and musicians perform there because
Wow.
this is what people come into Nashville for. They come to hear live music. So
Yeah.
it's not only Broadway. Well, the Broadway is a unique thing when you have all these bars and they have three levels, and on every level, bands playing since 10 a.m. till 2 a.m. And it's like two sides of the road, like few quarters. But it's
Wow.
not only there; it's almost every bar, every restaurant, everything. They have live music there. It's how this city lives. So it seems like no matter how many musicians coming, you can still find a job,
Yeah. It's not
especially
much.
if you can if you know what you're doing.
Yeah, right. Yeah. That's interesting. I didn't know that. All the people that I've had on with Nashville from Nashville, they've never mentioned that. That's interesting. The Taco Bell thing just blows my mind. Like you would never find that here in Washington. They would never do that.
You would never find it anywhere in the world, actually,
Yeah,
not
that's
only
probably true,
Washington.
honestly. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's
Because
just
it's
crazy
just
to
a
me.
fast food. People don't come in there to sit and listen to me. People come in to grab a food and run.
And
But
leave.
still, they
Yeah.
because they want to kind of they understand that to win
Where they're
between
at.
all the other places, they need to have something that will
Yeah.
attract more people. So that's why they do
Yeah.
it, I believe.
Wow. That's crazy. Yeah, I mean I guess that's true. You have to kind of conform to the city that you're in, or the area that you're in, and that makes sense. But man, I definitely would not have guessed that Taco Bell would have music. If somebody put that on a like a trivia, I would be like, no way. There's
That's a
no
by the way,
way.
that's a good question for trivia. Then it's a kind of it's could be a tricky question.
Yeah, 100%. I bet you 99% of people would say no.
Yep.
99. Hands down. Well, that's so cool. I mean, do you have any like favorite places you like to play in Nashville or in Tulsa? Or do you have any like places you go to regularly to play?
Well, I just started there, so I'm just started my moving process. So I'm mostly right now I'm doing some just songwriter circles and
Oh, okay. Yeah.
standing in line because you cannot just come to town and if you don't have already don't have a big name, you cannot just come and start playing music. But there are a lot of I actually places are different, but they pretty much the same because people are the same. It's that specific of Nashville. When you in other places, you usually have a locals who come into certain places,
Right.
and they are there all the time. So there is a certain audience, and you can like say, I like this place more because people there are coming more to listen to what I play, and people there they more like I don't know hard rock or something, and it's not exactly my thing. So uh, here, people coming from place to place, the same people
Yeah.
you can see the same faces through the evening in different bars because they were there, they listened to a few songs, drink something, they moved to another place, and they there. So it's not like I haven't seen like there are some places they trying to keep their they specification and style wise.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty old fashioned in what I do. I call it authentic country music.
Yeah. Right.
Because I could, when you're talking about the music styles, traditional music, it's not exactly the right word because when you talk traditional, it's you think about Lefty Frizzell and Hank Williams and uh, like people like that.
Right.
And
Yeah.
when you say like new traditionalists, it's a movement of '90s.
Yes. Yeah.
And if you're talking about the outlaws, it's like Willie and Waylon and uh,
Yeah.
Hank Jr. and people like this.
Right.
But all this is authentic country.
Yeah.
So I believe that authentic country music is more like it's it's the name that include a lot of like traditional, new traditional, uh, alternative, and outlook country. But at the same time, it's not the pop
Yeah.
country. It's not the pop music that they start calling country music.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm sick of that. I just can't understand why they do it because I mean there's nothing wrong in being a pop. If you're a pop singer, what's wrong with that? If you enjoy what you do, just enjoy what you do. Why do you call it what it's not? Why do you call this pop music a country music?
Yeah.
It's a mess because I believe that we have this uh, genre definition on purpose, just so we
Right.
could understand each other. It's like the meaning of the words. You know, uh, if we don't understand the meaning of words, we stop understand people.
Right.
And the genre is one of those things that totally messed up today because when you say rock music, you never know what's going to be. If somebody telling you like I like rock music, back in the days when I was younger, we all could understand what that means. Now it
Yeah.
could
Just
be
like if you're
anything.
Metallica or your
Same with
Pearl Jam. Yeah.
yes, same with a country music. When I say like I love country music, and they say, "Oh, you like Morgan Wallen?" I say, "I hell no love anything about Morgan Wallen. He's a good singer, but he has nothing to do with country music.
Yeah.
I don't care how big he is. It doesn't again. It doesn't matter because it's different deal. You can be great performer and not be in a country music, and it's okay for me.
Yeah.
So
Right.
when I say that somebody is not country, it doesn't mean that I say that they are bad. They're not bad. They're just not in this genre.
Yeah.
So I just don't. I prefer to kind of keep the genres just to understand what's going on, not
Right.
because something is higher or better or more. I don't know more qualified or something, just to understand what's going on. Just on if I'm asking, do you have a country radio in your city when I come visit for a few days, and you're telling me here there's like 905 FM, and
Yeah.
I tune into, and I expect to listen to hear country music. I would like us to understand each other and speak the same language. If it's pop music, it's great. Okay. Just don't tell me it's country because I'm not in the mood for pop music. I want to listen to my country. My
Hmm.
heart and treaty for the Rolling Stones, like
Yeah,
Alan
right.
Jackson say. So it's just a different deal. So it's okay. I'm okay with that. And sometimes I'm listening to some good pop music of the old days, especially like Lionel Richie is awesome, and people like this,
Yeah.
and Stevie Wonder in his pop period. I prefer him more with his soul things, but his pop music is pretty much good quality and good good to listen. And Paul McCartney in his pop years after his Beatles time and rock
Yeah.
and roll time. So
I mean,
it's all great.
you can't
It's
miss
all
with.
great. Just so I mean, I'm not trying to dispose this kind of music. I'm just saying that it's just not country. Just
Yeah.
that's it.
But I think that's kind of the pop country is kind of where that genre is kind of headed though. I mean, you mentioned Morgan Wallen, like you have Morgan Wallen, Carrie Underwood, Chase Rice, all these people that have come out in the last 10 years that have made country more pop than it is like Reba or Brooks and Dunn or all these people that were kind of before the 2000s, Shania Twain or whatever, like all these people that had grown up in the 80s and that we grew up with in the 80s and 90s, with like real traditional country music. I kind of feel as though they're kind of with the fact that all these people are now older and kind of starting to retire, or Willie Nelson, I don't think will ever retire. The guy's like 80 or something like that. But I feel like
He's
it's
he's
definitely moving into
93
pop.
now.
Huh? What's that?
He's 93.
93? Oh my gosh. Even more. I don't think he'll ever stop. I think that dude's just gonna sing forever. But yeah, I mean it's I think that kind of country that is the what where everybody came from in that sense of that word, I think has changed now with the new generation of people. You have the Taylor Swifts and the all these other people that are more have more made it more pop country. So, with you
That's what I mean.
switching, yeah.
Morgan Wallen, Taylor Swift, they has nothing to do with the country music and never did. I don't understand why they even been called country music. It's pop music, and as I said, it's okay being a pop music, but why in the world do you call it country music? It's not even close. It's nothing in it. There is no spirit of country music. There is no, I mean, nothing.
Yeah.
Just, I mean, music has its own spirit, like blues, like jazz. It's like, and you
Yeah.
listen, and it's not just chords, and it's not enough to be kind of grow up in a small town and drive a pickup truck to be a country music.
Yeah.
It takes a little bit more, and
Yeah.
if you kind of uh, wearing cowboy boots or cowboy hat, it doesn't mean that you're country music. It's
Yeah.
like you know all hats no cattle
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's something that and it's hard to explain. It's hard to really uh because it's a feeling. It's something that you feel or don't feel in a
Hmm.
music. So
Yeah.
when Taylor Swift just appeared, and somebody told me that there is a young girl she's singing country, and she's became
Yeah.
extremely popular, and you have to listen to it. And I said, okay. And I've listened to it, and I said, okay, I'm glad for the girl that she became popular and such, but it's just not country music. It's okay. It's a good pop music. She had some voice. I don't really think that she's really talented that much as people talking about. Uh, but she's okay. She can sing. She's doing
Yeah.
her stuff. It's okay. It's great. It's just it's nothing to do with country, from my perspective, from where I'm sitting, because when you're doing country music, uh, not in the United States, it makes you way more uh, strict about it because you first you surrounded with people who don't understand what it is. You always have musicians that you have to play music with, but some of them not really into country music, and you need to keep up. You need to keep them up and kind
Yeah.
of keep them in line and understand what you want from them, and you kind of give them. You listen to this, you listen to that, you learn how they do this. So you're trying to be, because uh, it's a sort of wannabe experience. It's like you're not really an American, but you're trying to be the one,
Yeah.
and you try, and in certain points you're becoming more American than an American,
Yeah.
because
Right.
you're trying so hard. You kind of trying to follow every rule and every kind of regulation, and you're trying to be so unapologetically American that even Americans don't act like this. so so you have this very special feeling, and you really kind of, because it's so many things that people around you trying to do and say, oh, it's like country. Say, no, it's not, because it's so. So you're learning way better to see the difference between the real deal and the fake. And
Right.
I don't mean now. I don't mean fake in a like in kind of in a bad meaning. I
Hmm.
mean fake concerning to country music.
Right.
Like you can paint a picture in a Van Gogh style, but it wouldn't be a Van Gogh. It could be a
Yeah.
great
Right.
picture, but it's just not a Van Gogh. It's just a
Yeah.
different thing.
Right.
So yeah, so that's why I use this term authentic country, which is telling that yeah, there is a lot of subgenres inside country music, but you either authentic country music, or you just not a country music. That industry started calling country music for, I don't know if they made it on purpose. I could come up with some uh, uh, conspiracy theories about it, but
Yeah.
I'd rather not. I don't know if they made it on purpose or it's just a mistake, but
Wouldn't authentic country kind of move into that more like
well, it's
Western
a
style
yeah,
country?
it's a different. I see a lot of really thriving things in the bluegrass music today, because a
Mm.
lot of a lot of younger people who see that they can't play authentic country, that they try to destroy all the market for it. But there is a separated bluegrass scene, and people who want to do something real, they trying to kind of escape through the bluegrass scene. I've met a lot of young people who's playing bluegrass now, and if you talk to them, you see that they're really not that narrow bluegrass fans, but it's just the only stage where they can do the authentic music, uh,
Mm.
not a pop music, and still be on radio, still be on it, because country music have their own radio stations, and all that. So you still can do that. And yes, and I see a lot of younger people going into uh, the Western music too, and this Western storytelling, and the music of the way, which we could call country and Western, if that wouldn't be that large definition that was really spoiled through the years too. But yeah, this Western gathering, which is going on like in Arizona, in Utah, and that places. But at the same time, I can see that traditional country, authentic country music is coming back now, because people, you know, I'm a historian of American history, and of the music, of course, too. And I've studied the whole history of country music, and how it was formed, and how it was developed, and how they were trying to turn it into pop many times, how they have this Nashville sound, and now they had this all that forms and what they have now. But at the end of the day, the authentic music found its way because the new generation comes, a new generation, they don't care about that fakes that the industry making. The
Yeah.
authentic, they need something authentic. They need something real, and pop culture has a lot of, let's say, good sides for like making money with it, for like people to just it's just easy listening stuff. It's something that you don't have to really kind of go deep in emotions and stuff. It's something, it's good for some point, but you can't live only on that. If you have a little bit of brain and if you have a little bit of heart, you need something more real. You cannot just, we call all that entertainment, but it
Right.
cannot be just entertaining all the time. You have to sit and think sometimes. You have to really go through emotions sometimes. You need to cry sometimes. You need to find a song that really will touch your heart because it talks about something that you experienced in life. Some of your losses, some of your mistakes, some of your forgivenesses, some of your redemption. And we need to have that in the music too. And this is what pop culture cannot give because pop culture is not something that is created for this. Pop culture is created solely for purpose of just relax and have fun. And but the decent people cannot just have fun all the time.
Right.
So now I can see there are some younger people who's coming up with authentic country music,
Yeah.
like Alex Miller, like I
Yeah.
may not even remember all the names right now because they're just fairly new for me. But still, they are. I'm listening to some of them, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's really they do the real stuff, the real deal. They're not just like trying to. Uh, and what's always happening is that people start listening to this music and people finally raise up these musicians and industry have to give up and, when the song he stopped loving her today were just recorded when George Jones just recorded that song, he was told that it will never be a hit
Mhm.
because nobody would like to kind of associate himself with that song. It's such a silly behavior and it's such a blah 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 and stuff. uh Industry said that Willie and Waylon will never be bring money doing stuff like they did it in Nashville. So they left Nashville and finally they broke the whole deal. And there were so many things when industry was wrong about how they supposed to do music. So every time when I'm here, like, oh, those producers, they said that it wouldn't work. I say, well, okay, let's see, because historically they've been like dozens of
Oh,
times when they were wrong about things because
yeah.
they're just people same as we are. So I believe that it's coming, the moment when the authentic country, new young authentic country musicians will just be so needed by people. So industry will have to comply. They will just have to open the
Mhm.
doors and let them in because they just will have no choice. They will see where money is. Otherwise, they will just again make some alternative like Bakersfield was, like Austin was. They will just make their own alternative, like Stillwater,
Right.
Oklahoma was when the Red Dirt music appeared. There will be something else again. They will just move somewhere and start doing their own thing, and then Nashville will kind of invite them and pay them to come in. So we'll just see what's going to happen. But I have a feeling that we like on the edge, and in the next couple of years, a lot of things going to change there, and they already
Yeah.
start changing.
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I would never move to Nashville 10 years ago. That was
Yeah.
the atmosphere, the music they played, that was absolutely different. Now
Indeed.
I came
Yeah.
there a few times and I'm like, okay, now it's a place where I could live.
Yeah. I went there 10 years ago. That's where I when I went there. And yeah, I mean it was way more like pop country than it was anything else. And I had stayed a couple hours at the night before I had to leave the next morning, and I had driven there from Seattle. And so I only had like the one night, and then the next day I was flying back home. And so I only got to experience like the listening room and a couple of people that had played there. And then we couldn't get into the Bluebird. I was kind of heartbroken, but we found another place to go into, and saw a couple of people in a writer's round there. And so it was kind of cool to kind of get that feeling, but also like, it was interesting because I expected the more authentic country to be there, and yet it was this new, as it was coming up, it was the new era of country, the kind of the beginning of all the new pop country. And so, yeah, I think it's interesting that Nashville has kind of changed in that way, where it's accepted kind of everybody who feels like they're in the realm of country, whether it's authentic, Western, new pop, whatever it is, they all kind of feel like they're this, that's where they belong, because that's what Nashville is kind of known for, I guess, at this point. But I've got a lot of people that aren't even in country that are that genre, that are just indie artists or indie pop or whatever. And so coming to Nashville, was it, I find it interesting because you're more authentic country, and yet the city itself has changed into being something else. So playing in these writers rounds or whatever, is it hard to kind of feel like you fit in there because all these other people are playing different things in the same like time frame as like, in like a writers round or whatever? Like, is it hard to be in that environment?
Not at all, because you see, we musicians, especially people who are writing songs, we're not
Mhm.
really so stuck with genres.
Yeah.
And it's hard if you're a musician. It's hard just to stay in a certain narrow frame, because we have all kind of influences, and me, for example. So maybe that's why I'm trying to make it like authentic country, to be able to have like a very large uh, scale of different forms of music that I finally can play inside that big one.
Yeah.
But the good song, it can be played as a rock, and it could be played as a country, and it could be played as blues.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Uh,
You could take anything
the,
and redo it for sure. Yeah.
this Tennessee whiskey,
Oh God. Yeah.
the version that people know today, this blues version, it's not the original,
Yeah.
because the original that was written by David Allan Coe, that was a country.
Yeah.
100%. It was "You're the smooth, this
Yeah.
Tennessee
Yeah.
whiskey." Somebody came. I don't even know who came up with this blues thing, and now everybody know this as a blues. So what I mean is that you can take any song. So when we gather, as when I'm participating in some songwriters uh, rounds here, some of them do it more like a country, some of them like more like folk, and some of them more like rock. But anyway, if it's a good song, you can pick it up and you can play it as you play.
Yeah. Right.
And it may sound different, but it's just still a song. And
Yeah. Right.
actually, who cares? Because when Elvis recorded Blue Moon of Kentucky of Bill Monroe, and everybody was like, oh, he's ruining this authentic bluegrass music. But when Bill Monroe received a royalty check for,
Yeah.
like, I can't remember, maybe $17,000 back in the days, he came
Yeah.
to Elvis and he said, you can record any of my songs. I'm not against it at all. So,
Yeah. I think that's
just,
kind of what it is mostly with everybody, because they'll get royalties from it no matter what, where, however you write it or however you redo it as. So really at the end of
yeah.
the day, it doesn't matter. But I know there's a lot of artists that like to stick to and say, hey, like you can redo my song, but like I would rather it stay very, where how I intended it. That's how I wanted it to sound, or that's how I intended people to hear it. So that's kind of become a thing too, of like everybody kind of redoing other songs or redoing the words to it, or I don't know. Some of them are okay, and others of them it's like, why not just keep it the way it is? Like it just sounds better the way it is.
Well, you can stick with the way it was. You can stick with the original version. I'm listening to David Allan Coe, and I'm okay with that. If somebody like the blues version of that song better, it's up to them. I don't listen to it. Who cares? I listen to older version. It's up to
Yeah.
me. So what I mean is that it's like, when I grew up in the Soviet Union, we have just we have two TV channels actually. So you kind of stuck with what they're showing you. Now you
Yes.
have you have everything of everything. And you can, if you don't like certain version of a certain song, just don't listen to it. Who cares? I mean, Bob Dylan wrote "I'll Be Your Baby Tonight." Then the UB40 reggae group took that
Yeah.
folk
Yeah, they
song and
redid
made
it,
it
but
like
it was
they made a reggae out of it, which
yeah.
was pretty funny. I don't know what Bob Dylan thought about it, but anyway, that was funny. And if you don't like
Yeah.
reggae, just listen to traditional Bob Dylan version. And if you
Yeah.
don't like Bob Dylan version, listen to reggae version. Or maybe
Yeah.
somebody will record it as a hard rock or heavy metal and listen to that one. Who cares? I mean, if until somebody just put you in your chair and put it in your ears and force you to listen to it, it's okay for me.
Yeah, right. That makes a lot of sense. You're right. It doesn't matter. Like people just they can do whatever they want with it, right? So, yeah, Tennessee whiskey, you mentioned that. Like that one, I know the Chris Stapleton version, and that's the version that I was introduced to. And then I heard it here. Somebody here did it live, and a country artist in the area of Seattle did it live, and so I kind of like went back to see where it had come from, to see if it had started with Chris Stapleton, and it didn't. You're right; it was very long ago. So it's just kind of interesting, like the generations that hear a song, and think that's the original. UB40, I didn't know that, so that's crazy. I had no idea it was originally a country song.
Yeah, it's a Bob
So
Dylan song, actually. It's not
yeah.
even a country he's a
Well,
folk
yeah, I
singer.
guess he's not really country. Yeah. But yeah, I mean it's interesting to me that all these artists are using other music or other people's music and making it for today. But
By the way, Eric Clapton's "Knocking on Heaven's Door," it's a Bob Dylan song too. So Eric
oh
Clapton
really?
did it. But yeah, it's a Bob Dylan song. So it's Eric Clapton did it in his kind of
Wow.
way, but it's a
Yeah.
Bob Dylan thing. He's one of the
Interesting.
greatest songwriters in the 20th
Of
century.
history. Yeah.
He wrote
Yeah.
so many songs, and some people don't even realize that it's his songs because
Yeah.
they're just became so popular. So people just think that don't even realize where it came from.
Yeah.
So, and it's with a lot of songs. When Beatles recorded Buck Owens' "Act Naturally" in 1965, so people in Europe didn't even know who Buck Owens is. So
Wow.
but they thought it's a Beatles song, but
Yeah.
actually it's Ringo Starr took that song and recorded it. So
Do you find
see,
any
it's
songs that have been redone? Do you find any that you actually like and can say, yeah, that was actually like well done, you know?
uh yeah, a lot of them. As I say, UB40 version, I like it too.
Yeah.
It's kind of easy listening pop reggae, which is as I said, I'm okay. I'm not thinking that it's a country music and the rest of it you should throw in the
Oh,
window.
yeah, yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
yeah, I can listen to a lot of different stuff. So, and I'm singing. I'm writing songs, but I'm singing a lot of songs that other people wrote,
Yeah,
and I'm
covers.
redoing them. I'm not just covering them in a sense of like just copying what the original version is, but I'm usually coming up with some of my version of it, and
Yeah.
I love to do it. And I think
Yeah,
it's
it's good.
pretty much okay. I call it not cover songs. I call it adopted songs. I'm adopting them like you're adopting children, and you raise them as you want them to be when you adopt a child.
Yeah.
It's already like you're not a physical parent of this child, but you input in this kid, and he's finally growing up more like you than like his uh,
Yeah.
legal he's like real parents. So that the same thing when you're adopting a song, it's not like you're just not copying it because it's top 40 and you wanted people to listen to it. You're just taking the song, you love it, and you put some part of yourself in it, and you do it like you do it. And I was told by a few people that my version of "Living on Jet Plane" is better than John Denver's version, and I was like, "No
Wow.
way!" But that was nice to hear at least.
Yeah, at least to that person, I mean, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty famous song, and most people like that. I don't think I've ever heard that song redone, honestly. If I think about it, I don't think I have. Or I haven't really heard anybody cover it either. So that's really cool that you cover that because I know John Denver's kind of a older, like an older generation type of, well, how do you,
Well, you see, he came to my
Ocean.
hometown of St. Petersburg in 1985, and he
Wow.
was the first. He was the first American musician I saw live
Oh,
in a
wow.
show.
Holy moly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was 13.
Wow.
And I just heard Charlie Daniels band. I got this LPs of Charlie Daniels Volunteer Jam 3 and 4 of 76 or 77, and it was a Willie Nelson on that album and some other bands of Southern rock. So I just turned into it, and then John Denver came to my city, and I went to his concert, and that was amazing. And that's what turned me into country music. So for
Oh,
me, and I
nice.
understand that a lot of people would say that John Denver is not really a country; he's like a folk and kind of this. But for me, that was a country music
Yeah.
for that moment of life, and yeah, I was under his influence for a certain amount of time because actually we didn't have much of that any kind of Western music. It was not really prohibited, but it was not embraced. So you can only get some, and there was no internet, young guys. If you
Yeah.
believe it or not, but I'm that dinosaur. I lived in the era when there was no internet, so you cannot
Yeah.
just click something and
Turn it
find and
on.
listen to it like this. If you
Yeah.
want to, if you can hear that some band just released an album, and it could take a few years before you can just get this album and listen to it because you just
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
it was just not there, and then you
Yeah.
go to black market and you can find it and you can buy. I remember I bought my first when I was at school. I bought my first record. It was ACDC, uh,
Yeah.
way before country. ACDC Back in Black. I paid the amount I paid for it. It was like a quarter of a monthly salary
Wow.
of a regular monthly salary in Soviet Union. It was the prices that you have to pay to listen to music that you want, and it was not a news LP. It was all scratched and such, so it was.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
So that was pretty interesting. And then when I got all that, I had a huge collection of country music, but that was, I mean, that was I don't even know how much money I put into it to gather it because you have to pay a lot just to buy this stuff. It's
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I was I kind of understand that. I was into K-pop for quite a while in my 20s, and I mean, it was astronomical trying to get albums of those artists. And the amount, I mean, you're talking, well, in American dollars, it was like 250 for like one album, or something like that. It was just crazy to me that they would charge that much, but it's also like everybody bringing their music this way, and it was crazy. I couldn't, I mean, back then I was only making like $12 an hour. So it was $250 was a good chunk of money for me, you know. But yeah, I mean it's interesting to when you're in a different country or a different area where the amount of money it takes to get what you want. And back then, like, even well, that was kind of we're coming into like this we're still into like the CDs, but you know, as a kid, like we had like only the radio. You could tape it with a tape off the radio. You didn't even get like you could have a tape, you know. So I can't imagine like
Yeah,
being in another country and not even being able to get any like anything. It would be terrifying to me because then how do you enjoy it, you know, on your own time rather than when it's just played on the radio, you know?
yeah, and you're recording this music on tape, and every time you make a copy, the quality go low.
Yeah,
Sometimes
it's just
when you get this uh, tape, it's already kind of you can
yeah.
hardly hear what's going on
Yeah.
there because the quality is so low.
Yeah.
And it's man, that's really, I mean, but you're doing it because what else can you do?
Yeah, at
It's
that time, yeah, exactly. Yeah,
it's just the only way to get us. That's you know.
yeah.
But I can tell you that a lot of musicians who's playing American music in ex-Soviet Union territories, they are like, if you would if you would put like the musicians here do it on one, then they do it on one and a half
Mhm,
because really people who really do it, who really love this music, they more serious about it than people here
mhm,
because that's the only way how because you have to prove you have to be better to be able to perform in front of people who really don't know this music and who don't care about this music and who are from totally different culture. So if you want to play this music and you want them to stop and listen to you and you want them to pay money for doing this, then you have to be really good because
right.
it's like it's not like when you come here and you just start playing some songs and everybody the whole place is like, oh, they sing along. There they just look at you,
Yeah, right.
they just don't understand what's
Yeah,
going on, so you have to do it the way they would love it, and it's way
yeah,
harder actually.
yeah, I
So
can imagine, jeez. Wow.
people from there really could bring some
Yeah,
fresh
yeah, there was
waves
a
here.
comment there's a comment, Anna made, and I don't know if she's still here, but, she said, "I consider the best lyrics in country songs."
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's true because that's really country music is telling the story. That's what Ray Charles said, who was actually recently inducted to Country Music Hall of Fame, and he really impacted a lot into country music, and he loved country music exactly because country music telling the story. And
Mhm.
it's a
Yeah.
different kind of story than the blues is telling because blues story is more like it's just like woke up this morning, my baby's not here, and it's just and you can repeat it
Yeah.
like 20
Repeat.
times. Country music in the same time, country music will tell you where this baby was born, who was her parents, how he came to how you met, and then how it was going wrong and why you finally kind of broke up. So
Yeah,
it's the
exactly.
whole it's the whole it's the whole novel's going to be there,
Yeah,
while the blues guys will just tell you just this morning thing.
yeah. That's so true. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean it's interesting. It's definitely a topic of I think uh of discussion these days with it because it definitely is completely different and country really is that like storytelling. It has that that's what people I think listen to it for is that, you know, the story from beginning to end, you know, rather than but that's actually Nashville though. Nashville, from what I understand, that's kind of where people when they're playing or where they're no, not where they're playing, where they're not playing, writing, that's kind of what they're I've been told that's kind of what the Nashville songwriters do. Like it's more about being a storyteller than it is about any sort of pop music or any sort of country. They want a story behind it. That's the Nashville writing. So I think Nashville is trying to stay in that realm, but I think with the new people that are coming in from Nashville, and the fact that it's kind of turned pop almost, or pop country, it's I think it's going to get harder to tell stories if you're just going to do that, where pop music is just a scene or a minute in time, a moment in time. Whereas country, I think country is more this whole, uh, like days and months and years.
Yeah, but
So
you see, that's exactly what I mean. That this first Nashville is pretty big, and there is a lot of things going on there. It's not only this pop radio chart thing. Second is that things are changing, and really, it's been always like this. They were trying to make it as pop as possible. Then people just get tired of that. Then they help to raise up some good guys on top. Then after some time, it's just a cycle. Then after some times, they start turning into pop again, and then after like a period, but it's first time when it got almost 20 years. Usually it was like 10 years circle, like 60s were more into pop, and then like 70s were roaring, 80s were more like into pop, and then second half of 80s when these first new traditionalists start to raise up, and then 90s were the was the blast. And then since 2000 to 2000, it's almost like quarter of a century. We didn't get much good in country music happening. So I believe it's been too long, and now it's going to be a huge, huge blast of all kind of good, authentic people. They already, as I said, they're already there. They already grew up. We already can see them on YouTube. We can hear them. We can see, as I mentioned, Alex Miller. He's a great. I don't even know. He's 22 or something. He's doing this authentic sound, and he won that one of these contests, American Idol or The Voice or one of those. I can't remember which one. So he's pretty authentic country guy. So Zach Top, I think that name of this guy who just popped up right now, and he's beating up the charts, and he's really good. He's really authentic.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of people that we haven't heard yet.
Right.
Who's there? Who's ready? Who's doing it? Who's loving it? They training. They get in their experience, and immediately when these radio stations will be open, when this industry things will be open, those people will jump in, and they will be there, and they will kind of shake the planet with what they can do.
Yeah.
It's just, as I said, I believe we're just at the age because too many people tired of pop music that replaced country music. If they would exist in a parallel realm, if they would be just a pop music, not trying to replace country music, nobody would care. But since it was trying to replace country music, too many people tired of that. They want authenticity. They want something real. So I think it's there. It's coming.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I
memorize memorize this tweet, as they usually say.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean, I hope so. It would be nice to kind of have some of that authentic country back, and to have people kind of really bring that era back into more modern now, but since we're over the time, do you want to play a couple of songs and then we can end?
Yeah, I can do it.
Okay,
I
let's
can do it. I can try to put my light back because it's acting weird today. So, yeah, you can always find my music is there on everywhere on Spotify, on Apple Music. So you can just type Mixed Holiday and find it.
Well, I'll leave you to for the next 15 minutes, and then we'll see you.
me see what we can do about it. Okay, so that's my song that I wrote some time ago when I thought that, now, what if I could write a song for Willie Nelson? How would it sound? And I don't know. Maybe it will get to Willie one day, maybe not. But anyway, it sounds like that. I thought that the song for Willie Nelson, pretty much like this. I'm gonna sit right here and cry myself a while. Although you know it's really ain't my style. But since you left, I know I'll never be the same. I'm gonna sit right here and cry without a shame. Little things I've done, they did make something wrong. Oh, you never leave me home, but now you're gone. You're in my somebody calls you me. I'm gonna sit right here and cry without a shame. I'll hold on to the moments that we used to share. But now the empty nights just leave me in despair. I never thought my life would turn that nasty way. I'm gonna sit right here and cry without a shame. I'm gonna sit right here and cry without a shame. Okay, and time-wise, I will sing a song that is already cut, and it's already on air everywhere, on Spotify, on Apple Music, wherever you listen to music, you can listen to it. This song called Grow in Love, I wrote it years ago and just released it recently, so it's like 25 years after it was wrote, it was finally released. So came into my life, turn it on. Since I'm with you, my loneliness is gone. Can't explain the way I feel for you. And every word of love is true. You are the beautiful and you're the care I'm having above. I'm the happiest man in the world, 'cause I want your love. You brought me a great happiness. Never in my life I was such impressed. Each love is growing in my chest. Each morning when I see you in my bed, I know that you're the best I've ever had. I'm on the road, I won't be near. Stop on holding me when you are here. You are the beautiful angel that came from heaven above. I'm the happiest man in the world, 'cause I want your love. You brought me that great happiness. Never in my life I was such impressed. Baby's love is growing in my chest. You are the beautiful angel that came from heaven above. I'm the happiest man in the world, 'cause I want your love. You brought Never in my life I was such a friend. Today's love is growing in my chest. All right, so this song and some more you can find on all the streaming platforms. You also can sign up for my YouTube channel, which is Mixhawk Music, and my website is mixhawkmusic.com. And on Facebook, there is a page called Mixhawk Music, and Mixhawk Music on Instagram, which is so wherever you go, it's just Mixhawk Music. So it's pretty easy to find. And okay, and I do this third song. Which is we just kind of recorded too, just recently for the album that I'm hope I can really release Autumn finally. I've been working on it for too long to. So that song is released too, and it sounds a little bit different when I sing it just with a guitar or when it's fully recorded. So with a guitar, it's more like I don't know, maybe Ernst Stubb style, but with a full band, it's more like a closer to country rock or something. It's called a Honky Tonk Blues. And I saw you but I was down. My future seems so cold and dark. This is gone. I thought that I've got like a life. I thought that I've got you. I know you'll never come back home, but please don't tell me so. You are my father, I sweat my teeth. You are my father, blue. Now I've got this song, it don't blue. Okay, so that's pretty much what I'm writing, and I'm also, as I said, I'm also singing not only my songs, but here maybe just royalty-wise, I would sing rather my own songs.
Yeah, of course, of course. Well, it has been so great to have you on. The only other question I have is, how did you come up with Mixhawk? What's the significance of that, and having that
It's
as a
just my name.
significance?
It's
Oh,
just my name. Yeah.
it's your real name? Wow,
Yep.
I was not expecting that. That's
Yeah,
really
it's
cool.
kind of. I would say that the mix is what I've been called. It's just my first name, and Hawk is just translation of my name in English. It's
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Wow.
It's so authentic. It's so real. It's not made
Yeah,
up.
I love it. That's so cool. I did not know that. That's amazing. Well, thank you for coming
Yeah.
on and sharing your music with us. It was a
Thank
very
you for
interesting
inviting me.
conversation. Yeah, I had fun. I love being able to kind of talk things out. So it doesn't happen very often. But yeah, but everybody, go ahead and check him out. He gave you all of his socials, so be sure to go and check those out and support him. And you're always welcome to come back if you release a song or an album. You can always come back.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
probably will.
Yeah, I mean, I'm here for it, you know? All right, everybody. Well, I hope you have a great Sunday, and we'll see you next Sunday. Just a reminder, September and October is the last we'll have shows. So we go off in November and December. So just be sure to keep checking in for shows on Sundays, and we'd love to like share all these new artists with you. So have a great Sunday, and we'll see you guys later. Bye.
Bye bye.